Acculorber forecast. Acculorber forecast.
I went up to heaven.
The myth of economic mobility is what keeps America from falling apart. People vote against their own interests because they believe someday they'll be millionaires and they don't want any of those bothersome taxes or laws. Of course, it's all a lie, but it works, right? There's also the myth that you cannot do anything about the weather, which is equally untrue, though it requires unorthodox approaches to the great sea of air above us. That great sea is about to bring us a nice weekend. Tonight, Friday night, low of about 65 under a great big moon that's almost full. Tomorrow, Saturday, high of 86, low of 70 under sunny skies. Sunday and Monday, both about 90 for a high, low of 70 and partly cloudy. But before we get to that, it is the end of the week when people traditionally get laid off. There's the stress of looking for a job, which affects a lot of people, and then the even greater cognitive dissonance of looking when secretly you don't want one. I mean, there are some people who love their jobs, but most wouldn't be a vice whatever of cross-platform commerce marketing and development if there wasn't cash attached. Yet even if your rate is too low, it beats having to deal head-on with the inner turmoil of unseemly desires that you will never fulfill because you're too busy working to ever consider them. Oh, and of course having a job is better than having the sunburn, dog bites, and other afflictions that accompany living in an alley behind a bar. Ultimately, the economy is entirely out of your hands. In fact, the hands it is in are softer than anything you have ever touched, like the feathers of an exotic bird that those very hands made extinct long, long ago. We can change it, but only in ways that are beyond the tender grasp of those hands and which won't really make us rich. But we can change the weather in much more dramatic ways, not in a macrocosmic way, like if we all recycle our batteries, we can end climate change. We can't do that because there are too many people to ever be sustainable. The Earth is like an abandoned house filled with stray cats who are good at two things: stinking up the joint and making more cats. And I don't mean on a microcosmic level either, like moving out of the tropics of South Brooklyn to someplace better able to meet the lowest acceptable standards for carbon-based whatever. That's just changing your external conditions. The contingency is rather than the essence of your days and nights. To alter what matters, you have to engage in what you really desire, not despite its uselessness or distasteful departure from the normative standards, but because of it. Weather is really your experience of your environment. It doesn't happen, it happens to you. That's why you look so weathered by the end of a hard day. If you join the people complaining about the humidity or not having a job, then your life sucks and it is all your fault. I'm not saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm telling you to pull yourself down by your belt buckle, or at least pull yourself over to see where this road is taking you. Louis C.K. says that the secret to getting the body you want is to want a shitty body. That's true, but what I'm saying is more along the lines of the Jack Kerouacian notion that what you love will find its own form. I was going to have a drink with my friend Matvey last year. I got to the bar early ahead of a freak hailstone that was kind of beautiful in its horror, and which prevented Matvey from biking on over, but which I would have missed the awesome glory, why not glory of, had I been at work or doing something else that was no fun. I should try to get that drink with Matvey again, and so should you with your Matvey. Something you wouldn't do if you weren't feeling expansive, open, and generous towards your own ideas and the ideas the universe has about you. To do something graceful in its uselessness, even if you don't feel that way, because you will, simply by doing it, and you will find yourself alive and rising up to meet the atmosphere in a way that enjoys whatever it throws back at you. That's it for now. Remember to set your clocks back this weekend. Farewell.
Acculorber forecast.